Hello and welcome to a presentation about my internship at Gushcloud International. The contents of this presentation will follow an overview of my time, evidence of my work, and a reflection. About Gushcloud. Gushcloud International is a creator content commerce company founded in 2010 that represents and manages digital talents across the world. They specialize in influencer and content marketing and currently have 11 offices across the world and consist mainly across the Asia-Pacific region. Their mission is to create sustainable careers for all their talents in the creator economy. They currently consist of 5 main units: entertainment, marketing, talent, investments, and technology. About my placement, I worked in the corporate communications sector specializing in social media. My amazing supervisor was Shah. She was very insightful in the social media industry and extremely friendly. I loved working with her. While on the trip, Curtin provided us with a few experiences while in Singapore, including visiting the Singapore Curtin campus, where we got the chance to meet some of the student representatives as well as the Vice Chancellor, as well as the cultural walking tour that gave us a lot of insight into the main religions in Singapore, as well as learning about Singapore's rich history. Under the Gushcloud name, there are 4 main social media accounts that Shah and I worked on. Gushcloud International, the main posting account for Gushcloud. Gushcloud Studios, this is the account mainly displays work and content of the talent that Gushcloud International manages. Best of Manila is an account dedicated to things to do and what's happening in Manila. And Mum Santa is an account that posts content catered towards mothers with small children in the Philippines. When on my internship, I was in Singapore for 6 weeks from June 20th until July 30th. I worked Wednesday to Friday in the office. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I worked from 10 to 6, and on Fridays, I worked 10 to 1, taking the rest of the time to explore Singapore and work on personal and professional development on my days off. During my internship, these were the main 3 big projects I worked on while at Gushcloud. In the last 2 weeks, fellow intern Rachel and I were tasked with coming up with a plan for a social media campaign for presidential candidate Nong Kok Song. We first had a meeting with Shah and were given the information that we would have to come up with a content plan from July 20th to August 21st. We first did research but couldn't find a lot about him, but as news broke of his run for presidency, we were able to find a lot more information on him. We collated this research and then created a content plan with captions and copies for each post ready to be created by the creatives team. The next main project the other interns and I worked on together for one of the talents under the Gushcloud name, Laurie. We worked together to create a marketing plan as well as a presentation to suggest ways that she could market herself to a general audience. In the report, I wrote the introduction, suggested marketing strategies, and wrote track showcases describing each of the 3 songs we were given to listen to. Another one of my larger projects was working on the social media accomplishment report. The report collated all the statistics inputted into the social media analysis tracker and made it into a presentation showing how the Gushcloud socials were tracking for that month. Each socials platform was analysed by increasing or decreasing follower counts, and the best 3 performing posts and their analytics were presented. At the end of the presentation, I looked at the overall analytics for Gushcloud socials for the month and presented them with accurate figures. They have been blacked out for confidentiality reasons. My usual daily tasks consisted of newsletter content. Each day I would research the top news stories for each of the countries where there is a Gushcloud office and collect them into a Google Sheet. Captioning content. Each day I would check the content tracker to see if there were any content across the 4 social media channels that needed to be captioned, and I would stay 2 weeks in advance. Content ideas. When all of my tasks were completed for that day, I would research some ideas for content for the Mum Centre and Best of Manila accounts to be collated in a Google Sheet. Some of my weekly tasks were newsletter. Each Friday, I would collate all the news stories I had collected throughout the week and put them together to create an email campaign sent out to all employees company worldwide. This involved linking aspects to the news websites, editing, and ensuring the campaign appeared cohesive throughout. The mailing list. Each Thursday, Shah would inform me of any changes that needed to be made to the Gushcloud mailing list. I would remove or add employees as requested. Analytics have been blacked out for confidentiality. And I would update the social media analysis tracker on Thursdays. I was responsible for updating social media analysis tracker. In the document, I would update the follow account, content posted across all platforms, and the analytics for the week. Some of the other tasks I had in my internship were content creation. During the last week, I was tasked with creating a TikTok video for one of the company's products, Hanjan, to be posted on their social media. Making copies for content. For real content, a long formatted copy would have to be created detailing the written information that is to be presented in the reel, as well as the photos that would be included. And I would update that talent tracker monthly on a Google Sheet that lists all of Gushcloud's talent social media followings that needed to be updated to reflect their current followings across platforms. I will now move on to the reflection phase. Some of the strengths that I showed were organization. In this role, there was a lot more organization than I anticipated, with different spreadsheets, etc., that I thought I adapted to quite well. Working independently. Shah was away for a week of my internship, so I was left to work mostly on my own, which went quite smoothly. And communication. Being a mostly virtual internship, communication with Shah and the team was very important to get work done and efficiently, so I thought I was able to do this effectively. Some of the weaknesses I showed were I would often get overwhelmed when given new tasks that actually were not that much work. At the beginning, I would overthink a lot of the tasks and I would try to make them perfect, which was inefficient. And lastly, I would get distracted quite easily, so sometimes I would find it difficult to stay on task. However, I always completed my tasks on time. A reflection of my experience, workplace versus university. In the workplace, I think that the work that I completed in my internship helped me to see how I can apply knowledge that I have learned in university to real-life scenarios. The work I've completed in my internship was a lot more hands-on and creative than university, which I really enjoyed, as being hands-on is my preferred learning style. Whereas in university, I think the work that I've done so far in university has been more theory-based rather than hands-on. Although we do have projects allowing us to be hands-on, there isn't the pressure that there is working for a larger company for the quality of content produced, and the tasks needed to be done are often done and distributed to the group in university, whereas the workplace people are assigned tasks based on their speciality. For example, the socials team come up with content and send them to the creative teams to be made to get the best quality produced. Some of my likes and dislikes about the experience. I liked the organizational aspects. I felt like everything had a place and I was never lost on what to do because everything was laid out and easy to understand. Everyone I met while on the internship was lovely and very welcoming. I liked being able to apply my university knowledge to a real life experience, and I was able to learn so much more from working in a workplace rather than learning about it. Some of my dislikes were the other interns and I were under the impression that we were going into an in-person internship. However, when we arrived, we were told that the internship was going to be mostly online, with our supervisors being based in Manila. I also think that the internship could have been squished into a shorter period of time. The interns and I thought that although having 4.5 days a week off was nice, we would have rather worked more in the week and gone home sooner. Some of the most valuable things I have learned in my time at Gushcloud were: 1, organization is key. All aspects of the internship were highly organized and streamlined to ensure efficiency. Everything had a place in a spreadsheet and all information was easy to access and find. Number 2, it is okay to ask for help. I found at the start I would hesitate a bit to ask for help because I didn't want to come off as silly, but Shah was very welcoming and easy to talk to, and I felt very comfortable asking her questions, even if they were silly, that allowed me to learn so much more. And number 3, social managers take on many roles. I was given a variety of differing tasks, from sending the weekly email to inputting data analytics to captioning posts, and didn't realize all the different jobs that social media managers like Shah have. I don't know how she does it all. It was very insightful to see all the different tasks in action. Concluding my internship, I have learned so much at my time here, but some things I would like to learn more about are different social media strategies, how they are used and found, and how they are implemented. I would like to learn more about social media advertising, as we didn't get to look much at this in my internship. And finally, how to create and find content that will attract specific target audiences. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation. If you have any further questions about my experience, please do not hesitate to contact me.